that Brazilian team, amazing Brazilian team. I mean, great players, unstoppable, and this is exactly what 1970 looked like. Brazil just completely dominated. Watch this.
Mexico 1970, the first FIFA World Cup to be televised in colour. All of a sudden, the game seemed somehow different, somehow even more magical. Perhaps that's because of the three colours that stood head and shoulders above the rest that year. The green, blue and gold of Brazil, now the most famous in football. Though not favourites for the tournament, it was clear that Brazil had done enough in qualifying to demonstrate their poor World Cup in '66 was behind them. What nobody knew, though, was that they'd assembled the richest blend of youth and experience, speed and skill, power and grace the world had ever seen. Captain Carlos Alberto. Roberto Rivellino, a young firebrand. The great Jairzinho, a man in his prime. And of course, a 29-year-old Pelé, still simply magnificent. After a comfortable 4-1 win over Czechoslovakia, Brazil's attention turned to the world champions. A great game with fantastic moments from both teams. Sure, England had their chances. Both Francis Lee and Jeff Astle should have scored. But even the most die-hard England fan will have to admit that the Brazilians held most of the cards in this tense affair. Jairzinho's 59th minute winner made for a fair result. Brazil marched on to the semi-finals, where their tormentors of 20 years earlier, Uruguay, awaited them. A goal down after 19 minutes, the Brazilians had to wait for Clodoaldo's strike just before the break. From then on, though, it was one-way traffic as Brazil set about dismantling the Uruguayans, running out 3-1 winners. The final saw one of football's greatest ever culture clashes, the attack-minded, free-flowing Brazil against the solid, defensive Italians. As if playing to a script, Italy sat back while Brazil attacked, their enterprise rewarded when Pelé got his country's 100th goal in the finals. The Italians equalised, then in the second half Brazil turned the screw. Chain-smoking midfielder Gerson unleashed a magnificent strike to make it 2-1. Then on 71 minutes, Jairzinho's effort made him the first man since Gboyega in 1950 to score in every match. As for Carlos Alberto's goal, well, for those who have seen it, just sit back and enjoy. For everyone else, yes, this actually happened. The emphatic 4-1 victory against one of the planet's meanest defences in a FIFA World Cup final still ranks as one of the greatest performances ever. It's been argued that the searing heat favoured the South Americans and that the same team would have struggled in Europe. Who knows? And frankly, who cares? Brazilian football now belongs to the world.
Okay, I told you we're just going to be coming in and out, and we're going to show you briefly the FIFA office, the first one ever. And exactly, we are going to now listen to what they've done with the office. Watch this.
school was founded at Rue Saint-Honoré in Paris on the 21st of May 1904. Formerly the headquarters of the French Sports Union, if you go to that address now, you'll find a shoe shop.
Okay, Unduka, this is very interesting too. We know the best strikers in the world. They are very clinical. They no emotions.
Yes.
Finishing class.
Yes.
But sometimes some of the biggest strikers in the world,
Yes.
they got the goose pimples and they miss sitters in front of goal. Why? We're showing a lot of it now.
Yes. The reason for this is basically sometimes anxiety, sometimes should I say low mental speed.
To miss goals in which even the goalkeeper is not there anymore.
Yes, if you can remember the one of Okegbenro during the World Cup was unbelievable.
I don't want to remember.
And a lot of this, even Pele too had missed one in the World Cup. Neskins, Falcao, Paulo Rossi, a lot of them. You understand me? Gabriel Batistuta and the rest, even Owen, all of them. The issue here is when you're talking about chances coming, you're acting on time.
Sitters, they call it sitters in football.
Exactly.
Even the goalkeeper is not, the goalkeeper believes it's just gone.
He's just gone into the net.
All of a sudden.
Exactly. You'll be acting on time and space available. Then you're thinking at the same time, like about 3 or 4, 5 things comes to your mind at the same time. Then occasionally, only one thing. At the last, let me just put the ball and let the ball go into the net. But you'll be surprised that you place your leg and a little shift in the balance, and the next thing is that the ball is out of the goal mouth.
Okay,
unbelievable.
The belief is that when you get to that level, we are talking about the biggest strikers in the world.
Yes, they do this. They do this. They miss goals as well.
They are human.
They are human. honestly speaking, they can be errors, unimaginable one. On one that is clearly unbelievable, that does happen. Like the one of Okegbenro is a living example of this.
Okay, one game we will never forget. 1982 World Cup. We are talking about France versus Germany. What a game! What a game, Unduka. And Harald Shoemaker. I mean, that the injury to Battiston.
Yes.
The comeback.
Yes.
Drama.
Unbelievable. Very strong match. This is when you hear the steamrollers, they call them the German machines. You understand me? For so many years, we have always believed that nothing can happen with the Germans. The thing is, when you play and for 90 minutes that the game will come,
it's not over until it's over.
Exactly, you might end up scoring 3 or 4, but they keep coming, and at a time your fitness will fail you. Then they keep equalizing, they keep scoring and scoring until maybe they score 4-3 against you or whatever. But in this case, the match was so strong that at the end of the day, what happened? The goalkeeper, the German goalkeeper, was very, very ruthless on Battiston.
Harald Shoemaker.
Yes, very ruthless.
It was deliberate.
Yes, that thing was
that's
deliberate.
What we're
Yes,
now.
that thing was deliberate. Very, very deliberate. When I saw that, I was very young. I cried.
It's supposed to be a normal record.
Yes.
But it didn't get it.
Yes, because it was then the rules is not as it is today. You understand me? Now it's harder and much more harsher, trying to ensure that the game goes on without major problems, because that would have led to his death.
Interestingly, he invited Schumacher to his wedding.
Yes, this is what the game is all about. You understand me? When you mention fair play, it is not only what happens. You understand me? When you mention fair play, sometimes at the end of the game, we still have to celebrate together. Sometimes we can fight, we can argue, we can do all things. But when the game ends and no one is dead and nothing happens, then fairness comes and joy and happiness of heart and everything. We rejoice together. Sometimes on that same day, we still go to club together.
Okay, Mduka, seriously now, we lost somebody there to all of us, including Mr. Gboyega Okegbenro, who worked with him, because Mr. Okegbenro was everything that has to do with a football club, a big football club in Ogun State. Gateway Football Club.
Yes.
Raymond King, now late. It's difficult to put, I don't know how to say it. Late Raymond King is shocking. I mean, he worked with him as a goalkeeper trainer.
This is true, but the issue here is that I know him myself too. Haven't gone to St. Finbar's College myself, and he used to be the goalkeeper those days for St. Finbar's College before we even so many years before we
very
came
jovial.
in. Yeah, very jovial, very wonderful, and being goalkeeper for goalkeeper trainer for Gateway for so many years as well. The issue here is that, like you mentioned the last time, that his name to a large extent
well,
at
some of us say Ramoni Oba.
Ramoni Oba, you understand me?
We are like they converted Raymond King to Ramoni Oba.
Exactly, Raymond King to Ramoni Oba. Why? Because all his life was spent here in Lagos.
So we think he's part of us.
Exactly, having his house over there. But one funny thing is that, like I would want to advise most often, you know, because it's not removed from myself that is seated here too, that after serving and, you know, rendering great service to the nation, we must be placed as well. Then the quality of life that we live too must, you know, must show that. Because at the end of the day, if we have some kind of life that does not, you know, that is not in tandem with what a lot of people are expecting as discipline, or being determined to be disciplined or dedicated to, you know, to the word discipline, then we end it up like this. Occasionally too, there are other factors that might be responsible for the quality of life that we live. Frustration is another thing too that has taken the lives of so many of our players, from the Oliha, you understand me, Rashidi, mentioned. There is so many of them, you understand.
So it's about the present players learning from that.
Yes, learning from that and taking lead to at least whatever we do, let us be educated enough to be able to manage ourselves.
We can never forget him.
Yeah, exactly. We
Lovely
can never. Lovely, wonderful guy, and above all, a very, very, very good goalkeeper, Kayode. Very good goalkeeper.
And he says things
him
as they
are. Yes, yeah, as they are.
Like he's going to do now. A very exclusive clip to Moments to Russia. Raymond King here speaks about his time at the Green Eagles then. He was one of the goalkeepers with Best Okegbenro and the others. He really didn't have lots of cap really for the Eagles, but he was there. And he says here that there was a time in which the Super Green Eagles quality. He was saying that he could not believe he was among these kind of players, and he's going to be mentioning all the names now. Raymond King, rest in peace. We will never ever forget you.
Initially, I must be honest, I was overawed by the array of stars I met at that time in the camp, in 1981. We were preparing for the match against Algeria, which we lost here, 2-0. It was about 2 months to the game. Initially, the first 1 week, I was overwhelmed, overawed by the array of stars. Thompson Hussein from the US. The boy was six players from abroad. John Chedozie, Tuziban Joe, and Dr. Johnny Buonu, Andrew Atwebu, Thompson Hussein, all those, Tusa. Ha ha! When I saw men, if you see a lapse, and mine was just like a toad's tie. If you held my tie too firmly, the bones will break. And men, if they shoot here, if they hit a shot here, under hearing the whistling of the shot past their ears, you faint.
This program is going to be not just about showing you football clips alone. All the Nigerian legends, Africa, everybody that's gone to the World Cup, they're going to be telling their story. And Ben Iroa here, telling his own story about the FIFA World Cup, his own experience, how we qualified, and the World Cup itself. It's a very interesting one. Lovely player, this guy.
Yeah, wonderful. From left full back, sometimes he plays at number 6 as well on few occasions, but very, very strong. And, you know, he's a workaholic. You understand me? He plays 3, like myself too. Yeah. You understand me?
So
the only difference.
He's your competitor.
Oh, competitor. Yes.
Friendly competitor.
Yes, we started this right from our youth, because he himself and with one other guy that is called Andrew Ariguzo, they come to the youth fund then, where I was then. Then we traveled together on a few occasions and played together for Nigeria with the youth fund.
I remember me passing instructions to my colleagues, Okechukwu, Keshi, and Egwabon. We just told ourselves, it's a fire to fire here. Once we manage to score one, the road is closed. Before you know it, early goal, Finidi, boom, from nowhere. Then we said, it's over, and it was over. We played with our blood in that game. We were ready to die in that game. So luckily, God gave us that.
So when we qualified, now say, yeah, I'm going to work.
Yes. If you see that clip, I was rolling down with Keshi, with the Nigerian flag, we were just crying. It was one of our best moments. And that night, we were, the party was downstairs in Nigeria, but we were partying up because we came with a charter flight, and we drank champagne all the way from Algeria to Nigeria right away. So it was so nice. It was good times, excellent times.
We are back here. Unduka is still here. Unduka, we said it last week. You said we don't like controversy.
Yes.
But we are going to be very fair to everybody.
This is what you said? Yeah.
Exactly. We continue today.
Yes.
Iroha story, we just had that. We are still coming back to Chief Onigbide again.
Yes.
Because he loves to respond to
Yes.
when things are said about him that he believes are not true.
Yes.
And here, he's talking about what happened at the 2002 World Cup. A lot of people are like, why is this man like this? He's not even moving from the dugout. As a coach, I saw you at the Under 17 World Cup.
Yes.
You